Okay, welcome to Unit 6, Chapter 1. There's actually only one chapter, and I'm going to take a look at the curriculum.code.org. This is for teachers. Sometimes students find this link as well, but it's very informative. And if you look at the commentary at the bottom, it specifically states the lessons in this unit are meant to be taken piecemeal rather than as a typical unit sequence. Instead of a sequence of connected lessons, these represent a more modular breakdown of the things you need to do, which is to understand the AP performance task and make a plan for completing the task in the time allotted and actually doing the task and submitting. These activities should be viewed as suggestions, and they're not required for understanding the task themselves. They are merely a suggestion for having students review and prepare for the task in a whole class inquiry-based way in keeping with other parts of the curriculum. Okay, so when we look at lesson 1, the tech setup of the AP digital portfolio and learning how to use other tools, students will learn how to set up their digital portfolio. Students need to know how to make PDFs for their written responses. They need to know how to make PDFs for their code, and they need to know how to make screen captures. So this lesson breaks it down for the teacher and the student so that our students can do these things on their own. The rest of the lessons really break down the task. Let's take a look. So again, we just talked about 2, creating the PT, reviewing the task. Lesson 3 would be making a plan. And again, code.org provides all these resources for teachers, lesson plans. If you have the time to go through it with your kids, it's so beneficial. Let's just take a look really quick at collaborative practices. So again, the goal of the lesson, they have teacher prompts here, the remarks, you don't want to skip that. What is allowed in a nutshell, teachers may advise on the process, and this is, it clarifies things for teachers. It gives the prompts for the students that we can facilitate and then allow students to own their expectations, to really think through it so that they're clearly aware there's a difference between collaboration and cheating, and they're asked to discuss their collaborations and the work they did as opposed to the work their partner did. So if you look at lesson 4, it's completing the task, getting students going. Lesson 5, we're looking at the explore task. Again, reviewing the task, looking at the rubric, looking at the scoring, looking at student samples, and then looking at that commentary. And 6, making the plan, similar to the create, but now for the explore. And then 7 is starting the explore task. So for my students, I want them to start with the explore task, which is 8 hours. We looked at both tasks. We looked at both rubrics, but I chose to do lessons 5 and 6 first, which was looking at the sample task and having students scored according to the rubric, and then having students look at the commentary from the College Board and comparing and contrasting their score to the College Board score. And this was very helpful for my students. A lot of great questions came up, and they were able to clarify a lot of misconceptions in their heads as a class. You can decide, just like the commentary said, what order you want to go in so that it meets the needs for your students.